Hey everybody, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
We are here in our garden.
Yep, our community garden.
And thankfully we are out of our camper because it has literally been raining for the last, what?
3 days.
3 days.
3
like
days.
Solid
Yeah.
raining. In fact, our garden is not doing too bad.
No,
But
actually.
some of the other plots around us are pretty close to flooded. But we are here in the garden today and we're actually going to harvest some stuff.
Yeah, we're going to harvest our radishes today and some sugar snap peas.
That's
and we're going to do a little bit of weeding.
Little fertilizing.
And show you guys some updates on some of the plants. They're doing really well. Yes, we're going to do some fertilizer.
Yeah, and do a garden tour and show you everything that's going on.
Yeah, also talk about a petunia fail.
Yes, if you remember, Missy did a couple of videos, and I will leave a link here or there or down there. It'll be somewhere around here. But yeah, in Missy's words, it didn't work out as well the way we wanted.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
All right, so we're going to get everything ready here, and I'm going to walk around and show you what we got going in the garden. Come along with us, guys.
All right, here we go.
All right, guys, let's take a look at our first couple of rows here. Right here, you can see we have beets coming up, and this was the first planting of beets going up. And then over here, you can see this is a second planting that Missy did not too long ago. And then we come to our radishes, which we're going to harvest today. And you can see that those are pretty much ready to go. And then we come up, and then we have our onions, which are doing nicely. And that will bring us up to Melissa.
Hi, guys.
Hey, would you like to show them something else in the garden?
Sure. All right. We have some cantaloupe that we planted. We had a problem with the cantaloupe, and the first ones that we planted died off. We did have one that we were able to salvage, but it's not looking very good. Actually, we have a couple. So right now, we're looking at, we only have about 4 cantaloupe that are looking pretty decent.
Looks like they have little flowers on them.
They do. So, we have some cantaloupe here, and our cantaloupe over here. All right. There's another cantaloupe. And these are the ones I was talking about. It's tiny, and it looks like it's still gonna survive, but I think they're gonna die off.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough.
Same thing with this one.
Yeah, that looks dead.
Yeah. So.
And that'll give them, there we go. And that'll give them some room to grow, because those things need a lot of room. So.
They do.
What do you
They're
got
not
down
overcrowded.
below that?
All right, so let's go take a look below.
And
all right, guys. So now we have our celery, and I planted leeks in between. And at the end of the row, we have some Swiss chard. So let's take a look at that. This is our celery and our leeks, which are looking amazing. All that rain.
Yeah, they're starting to bunch up nicely.
Yeah. So we have this whole row down here. And then we come to some Swiss chard. The Swiss chard took a little bit of a hit in the early part of this summer when we first started planting it, but it seems to be coming back now.
All right, guys, I'm going to show you the next couple of rows we got going on, and it's our zucchini and our summer squash, and they look fantastic. Let me show you what that looks like. Look at the blossoms on that. That just looks fantastic. And then, if you look here, look at how many blossoms are going to come up in there. That's amazing. So they're all looking very good. Now let's go check we're going to go up here through the potted herb garden, past the cantaloupes that Missy showed you. And I'm going to show you these two rows right here are our cucumbers. So our cucumbers, our original planting from starts didn't survive. They didn't make it. They all died. So as we go through here, you'll see some holes where there are no cucumbers. That's because we were a little bit more picky this time when we went to get new starts. But they're all doing fantastic. And there are little cucumbers starting on the plants. We got to tie them up to the trellises. So you can see those cucumbers are doing fantastic. And look at right here, we've got one little cucumber starting. What do you think of those cucumbers, Missy?
They are looking great. I'm just going to try to weave them up on the trellis here.
Are we going to tie them or are we going to weave them?
We're just weaving these right now.
Okay.
Because they're still they're not long enough to get in there. So
that's a start. Yeah. You want to show them our peppers and tomatoes?
Sure. All right, so we have tons of peppers. We ended up doing 2 rows of peppers. We plan on doing a lot of canning this year, so we wanted to make sure that we had a really good garden going so that we'd have enough to can. So let me show you those peppers. We have banana peppers, green peppers, bell peppers, sweet peppers. We have some hot peppers. There's just tons. All right, so here we go. Oh, I believe that these are our banana peppers. So they're looking really good. Yeah, see, we have banana peppers already forming on there. That one's pretty long. That one looks almost ready to pick. There's another banana pepper. Some of them have cages already. The rest of them we are going to stake. Those are what we have for peppers. And then down at the very end of this row, and I'm going to give you a look at those too because we already have eggplant on those plants. Look at those. Those are some nice looking eggplants. These are tiny plants, but they are doing well. All right, so that was our couple rows of peppers. Now we have the next 2 rows, we have tomatoes. We have a lot of tomatoes too. We have some Juliets, which are kind of like grape tomatoes. And then we also have some Roma tomatoes, we have some big boy tomatoes, and I believe we got some early girl tomatoes. I might be missing some, but I'll give you a look at those because they're coming out really good. These are our Romas. I believe this is the start of an early girl. And then we're going to come up here. Here's a Juliet, and it has a lot of tomatoes on there. I don't remember exactly what kind of tomatoes these are. It's one plant that we got that's totally different from all the rest of our tomatoes, and I'm not exactly sure what they were called. So It's going to be a whole surprise when those ripen. And this tomato plant at the very end was a sucker that we actually pulled off and replanted. And it actually has growth on it and flowers. So let's come around. And we have some peas, some sugar snapped peas. Those are looking pretty good. Those are what we're gonna harvest today. So we have this whole fence line down here. And then we come to our bush beans, which are doing very well. They're coming up and I see little purple and pink flowers on there. So we'll be having beans soon. All right guys, that was our sugar snap peas and our bush beans. We're gonna pick some beans, we're gonna do some radishes, and we're gonna do some weeding and maybe tying up some plants. Okay guys, now I'm gonna do, don't make me laugh.
I can't help it, you're so beautiful when you smile and laugh.
Thanks baby.
No problem.
All right, I am going to harvest some of our radishes right now, if you guys wanna take a look at that. I plan on actually putting in a second crop. So once I get these out, I have seeds that I'm going to be putting back in their place. They're a little,
those are all right.
They're a little tiny.
They're a little small, but...
See?
Oh.
Now, these are some different radishes. We had a mix. And this was more of a tubular radish. And those didn't seem to produce as well as the round radishes. So and that one didn't come up either. Okay. All right guys, I have just finished harvesting the radishes and I cleaned out the bed and weeded and planted more seeds so that we can get a second crop for radishes. So now we're gonna go check and see what Eric's doing. He's putting stakes in for our pepper plants.
Okay guys, I got all, let's see if I can see it. Right up this row, I put wooden stakes in for all our pepper plants, and I'm going to show you that real quick. And you can see them going up the row. So that should take care of our peppers. They should be good to go for the rest of the season. Missy.
Yes.
What do you have left to do?
I was going to get some string so that I could tie up some of our tomato plants to make sure that they stay against the trellises.
Oh, awesome. All right. So, do you need some help with that?
Yeah. I'm going to get the, do you have the knife still?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to get the string.
All right.
And I'll be right back.
And we'll work together.
Yeah.
Just like Sesame Street, folks.
Yep.
Okay. How big of a piece do you want? About a foot, 2 feet?
Yeah, about a foot. So I am here in our tomato row, and I am going to tie our tomatoes to the trellis so that they don't fall over on us when the tomatoes start getting too big. So I'm just tying some twine pretty loosely, and then I'm just going to tie it to the trellis.
I noticed you're tying on the trellis much higher than you tied on the plant. Is that so that the plant can grow up?
Yes, so that it has room to grow up on the trellis.
Okay.
And you can always just tie it really loosely, and there's enough string that we can tie it up higher if we need to.
Awesome.
So just enough to give it some support so it doesn't fall over when the fruit starts coming in. All right, guys. I've got all my tomato plants tied up and they're all on the trellises, and Eric is going to give you a nice view of our 2 rows of tomatoes all the way up. All right, so those are looking pretty good, right? I think so. All right, so the next thing we have to do is we're going to harvest our sugar snap peas, and then we're going to probably call it a day.
Here at the garden, at least.
At the garden.
So we got some other stuff going on.
Yeah, we do.
We're lucky that the rain kind of held off.
I know, it's still not very nice out here. We've only seen the sun poke its head through
for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So hopefully tomorrow will be a much better day and our garden will get some sun, because I think that's what it really needs right now.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm hoping tomorrow actually has a little bit of sunlight in it.
Yeah.
Because we're hoping to...
I'll be able to get a ride in.
We're hoping to take the motorcycle out and go for a ride. It's been a while. We did one good ride this year.
Yeah, but we haven't been out much.
No, we've been super busy.
And that's one of our activities that we like to do.
Yeah, no.
We just kind of like go out riding.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate but that we don't get to ride, but the benefits of the things that we're doing that are keeping us off the motorcycle are well worth it.
They are.
This homestead is going to be our future.
Yes.
And this garden and practicing things and learning things in the garden is very important. And all the other stuff that we're doing to make ready.
Yeah.
And we go down in what, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Not
5
even
weeks.
5 weeks, something like that?
It's about 5 weeks.
5 weeks, so...
And that's when we're going to clear our land.
Yeah, that's when we're clearing the land. If you've been following along, you know that, but we're getting things prepped to get that done.
Yeah.
And
definitely planning, a lot of planning.
It's a process, folks. Anybody who's looking to start a homestead from scratch, from raw land, raw timbered land, you got a lot of work ahead of yourself, and just take your time and work it all out, and it works itself out.
Yeah, I think that's why we're doing it the way that we're doing it. We want to get everything prepared and ready for when we're actually going to move down there.
That's right, because when we move down there, I'm going to put my arm on there.
Yeah.
When we actually move down there, it's all hands on deck, getting the homestead up and running, getting the gardens up and running, getting some chickens in, getting our farm business going.
Yeah, that'll take a while.
And building a house.
And we're well aware of that. We don't expect magic overnight, but we're going to work really hard.
Yeah, and that's I mean, we're not planning on going down and looking for jobs. Okay, so the battery died and I had to go get a new battery. And it's starting to look like rain. I don't know if you guys can see it there. So Missy, who is right down there, is harvesting our pea pods, and we forgot to bring a bag to put them in, so she's going to put them in my trout net, which has really little holes and will hold pea pods no problem, right, Missy? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get busy doing that, and then we'll check in with you guys when we get ready to leave.
So this is actually our second harvest of sugar snap peas. So they've been producing pretty well, although some of them didn't grow up as high as the other ones. We have a bunch of sugar snap peas up at the top that are really climbing the trellis, and the ones down at the bottom are just not doing as well. So I'm not sure why.
I wonder if it's either soil or it's getting too much water, because a lot of water goes through there.
Yeah, because our garden is, like we said before, it's kind of on a little incline here, slope, and the ones down here seem like they're very, very wet and not growing as much as the ones at the top. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if that makes a difference.
And this
This is
our harvest of radishes, and that's a nice bundle of radishes.
It is. This is actually our second harvest of radishes too. I've already harvested the first ones, what, a couple weeks ago, I think it was.
And now we have new ones planted.
Now, yes. And I just planted new seeds.
So we should be good there.
So we're good.
All right, so yeah, that looks like a storm cloud right there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to rain again.
So I think that does it here in the garden for us.
Yeah, I think so.
We learned a few lessons here today.
Yeah.
Communication and working together, I think, is the biggest lesson that we learned here today.
Yeah, I think that
you guys won't see it, but we didn't argue, but we had conflicting ideas on
how things should go.
That's right. But you got to talk it out and come to a consensus on the best way to get things done.
Yeah. I'm still going to show you my petunias that are back at the campsite.
We'll get you a view of those petunias, and we'll tell you what we think we did wrong, and we'll let you see for yourself. And if you have any comments on it, we'd love to.
Go boy, go boy. Are you happy we're home? All right, we are back at the camper, and we're going to show you the petunias that I did from seed. Now keep in mind, it was the first time I've done anything from seed, and they were doing really well. I think one of the biggest problems that I did in the beginning was that I didn't thin them out enough. So they ended up getting too overcrowded, and when I finally did separate them into their own pots, I should have only put one instead of putting a couple or a few in a pot. So this is what they look like now. Okay, so they're a little leggy, first of all. They never got flower blooms on them. So if you're looking for greens, they're pretty green, but they didn't produce any flowers at all. So not only did we not thin them out enough, but I think the fact that we don't really have a lot of sun, and they just didn't get enough light.
No, and we didn't use a grow light in the beginning either.
No, we didn't use a grow light.
We used a heating pad, yeah.
But I don't think that was good enough.
No.
So next time, I'm going to have to really pay attention to how much sun they're getting. And I did harden them off before I put them outside. I just don't think that they had enough sunlight to produce flowers here.
All right, that's it for us, guys. I hope you enjoyed the garden tour. I got a little bit of work done. Like I said, we're going to try and get out on the motorcycle tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It will stay dry enough. And
yeah, it's supposed to be 80.
That's right.
So hopefully we'll be able to do that.
We'll see what happens. And I hope everybody has a fantastic 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
All right, guys. Once again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. It'll let you know when we have videos coming out.
All right, and if you're really enjoying our videos, please share them. It really does help us out if you share all of our videos on your media pages to spread the word.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.